Hey my friends, we'll be back. I welcome you in this video tutorial with OSP Pro and Ugandan developer. Now today simply I'm going to show you how you can make a disco light animation using CSS, mainly CSS animation. That's what you're going to be learning. So I'm going to be really making the playlist for animations with the CSS. So this is going to be our first video. So this is where you're going to start with, and you're going to start with making up a disco light animation. How you can make a disco light animation, or how can you animate your entire website in this kind of format. So if this video happened to like it, please subscribe to my channel as we start. So the first thing comes in first. I'm going to start with making up a new file. So I'm going to create up a new file of our project. So I'll go say open folder. So let's go and create up a folder here. I already have one called bulb animation. So I'm just going to call one as disco light animation. That's what we're going to be working on today using CSS. So the first thing comes in first. I'm just going to select that folder of ours, and then I take you into the environment very fast. So that's it. Let me just make that's enough. So I'm going to right click here, try to open up that very fast. Let me just save this page as index.html. Not dealing with the PHP at the moment. You can generate that simple HTML like that. So I'm just going to try to summarize up very fast disco light with CSS animation. So I'm just trying to pack up here and meta chassis. Now here there are many things you can put on up and put inside your index, actually inside your body here, a lot of stuffs, but I'm just going to show you how I can summarize my stuff here. So I went on this file of ours. I happen to make some good files. I have this first class, which is ending here down. We have another class there, and we also have another header files. So I may just also come do the same thing around here. We have the class there, which class can be, in my case I happen to call shadow. So you can give it any name of your choice. Mine, I'm just going to also give this another class here. This is a class holding up the H group. I may just call it maybe bulb, though I may not even use it as such today. Bulb, especially this our H group. So I'm not even going to add anything there, but I'm just saying maybe this is where you have your information, or maybe this is the container of your stuff, maybe this is the what also you would like to animate inside your element. And later on, which I'll continue looking at how can we add more functionality to it. Maybe this is a checkbox or things like that. Now to make things simpler, this is only what I want to have at the moment. Maybe another thing that I'm going to do so that you guys can understand what I'm trying to do, I'm going to create a separate file for CSS. I'm just called main.css. So if I go to browser, trust me, there's nothing you can view on my page. It will just be like that. So to make sure that at least we have something which we can actually view, we shall go to our CSS, right click here, we create a new file for CSS, which we happen to give a name as main.css, which is that. So come here in the CSS, this main.css. Inside here we shall just add the following into our program. Just talk to the body now of your element. If you try to check from here, the body of the element is that container. We may need to give the background the stuffs like that. So check, I'm just going to give my background, I may simply say the background color or the background to be black. That's what I may give. Or I may happen to apply, if you don't know how to do that, you can also just use CSS, meaning Photoshop or picker, color picker. You try to pick the color of your choice. If that's what you want, you just take that. So that's how you can also use Photoshop to do your coloring. So if I take that, that will be the color for our choice at the moment. So if you take now right now and cross check on the website or stuff, we shall be having something black like that. You get? Now let's now see how can we add the other remaining stuff. So the remaining stuff we don't need to add at the moment. We already have that body of our stuff. Let's now also talk to the shadow now. So this is a class. To call a class in the CSS, we give a dot, then we speak of the name. Which name is this? So make sure you give the right spelling, which is that, and that's it. We give the class. Talk to the shadow. Come and just give here one on us. You may come in here and try to give one on us the width of it to be maybe of 200 pixels. If that's what you want, you can also decide to give the height of maybe 200 and maybe 50 pixels. We may also frame up to give what known as our position to be relative. In this time around, we may also need one known as the background. The background here, just the background alone. The background to be linear gradient, like that. Now here I'm just going to give 0 degree at the moment, and I also give it a background to be black color, so that you have a black color in background. And I would like also it to be animated by maybe 2525, like that, whereby if you check now this on our page, you should get something kind of like this. Now it's kind of look to be small. So margin, we need to give margin to it. Margin, we need to frame margin of maybe margin of 20 pixels, auto 0. Think that one will be extending our element a little bit to something like that. So I think our width is a little bit small, so I'm going to just increase this to 400 pixels, which I think that's kind of fine for us to generate the other same stuff what we have here. You get things like that. So we need just us to push our thing also a little bit down to do that, so that we get something like that. So I'm going to do that very fast. Let's just try to add this margin to 200 pixels so that we can push that relative to kinda in the middle like that. Now that's great. So now we have another thing to talk with. If you try to cross check on this element of ours, we have if you try to first see before animating it, I happen to apply what known as linear gradient again, which is handling the kind of that. If you try to check on the background with the Z element of -1, so that it's blowing on the background, then this one we shall change the Z element so that can be blowing from in front. Now let's do that very fast. I'll go back to my element again. We have things to add on. We have to add the shadow before, and also to the shadow after the effect. You get? We shall be providing our element there. But if you remember very well, we also have this other class of ours called bulb. To speak to bulb, come here. You can just come here to the bulb. You tell bulb that it's, remember, we shall be using the CSS3 ability, whereby we shall be moving from this to the inner one. I'll use something like this. So if I say show shadow, sorry for that, shadow, I'm moving to the dot bulb. So that's how we shall be moving to the bulb. To make things simpler, I'll just copy this very element of ours, and I happen to paste it around there. But now I'll change this height a little bit to maybe 150 pixels, and my height to maybe to approximately 100, like that. Now this position of it, I will put it to be absolute, like that. I'll leave this as it is. I may change this margin a little bit later on after cross-checking. So if you try to check into our element here, we shall be having something like this, somewhere like that, but we need to push it a little bit here. You get? Now to do that, let's try to give the margin to this element of ours by we trying to remove this auto off first of all, and try to make this one at least margin of 70% to our bulb. So if you shake, the bulb will look kinda there, but I want to be in the middle. So to make the bulb be in the middle, I'll just come in here again. I try to increase that by 90 to be 90%, a little bit, so you can be pushing up the element to the direction where you would wish it to. You would wish your element to be in. So if you shake right now, it's kind of somewhere like that. But now I would also like, if you shake this, I may just increase this a little bit, 200, because of certain reason, which will explain to you. Wow, that's too big again. Just try to make it approximately 180 pixels. That's great. Now we need this one to be round, you get? So to make that round, simple, just come back here and talk of the border radius to our element is going to be 50%. You get? Make it 50%, whereby when you cross check here to our element, we shall have something like that. You get? Approximately like that. Now we need now to talk to this element to try to give that margin, that color which you have been seeing, that's now bluing around the page. To do that, I'm just going to paste in my codes and explain them to you. So let's go inside here of our element, especially this. I'm going to paste these codes and I'm going to explain them to you. So just try to bring this a little bit like that. So let me explain to you here. I'm going to just change this one to -1. That's it. So I don't need here on this border of ours to have that. Now if you check, I have the content of my stuff. The position of it, like I said, this is shadow, so I may need the position of it to be absolute, so that I just remain in that area. Then to animate it to 20 seconds, and if you shake this side around, this what happened to give the color to it, a little bit kinda green, talk of red color somewhere there. So the number of times you have to just copy this and paste them. This is what I have to explain to you. So if you shake this, what we have, I have this color first, the second color, the third color, the fourth color, the fifth color. After reaching to the fifth color, please start again. So you give 5 different point of give 5 different color, then just paste it again 2 times. Just paste once more, whereby when try to shake to this element now, we should find something. Oh wow, let me shake here again. Let me shake a little bit. The reason might be in around relative position to be relative bit, so that shake that. We shake on that. Why is not turning up? Why is not turning up? Try to cross check my code last time again. Position absolute, top that, background that. So this 45, that's it. So if you shake around my codes here, if you try to pick that like I've explained to you, just be attentive here a little bit. So if you shake now again, wow, it's not turning. Let me shake that. Why not? Why not? Just come back to you very fast. So that's what so far we have. Now let's go also and talk to this inner one, so that we see the impact what will happen to it. So inner one is we're just going to copy this very stuff. So just copy this very one, you come in here and talk to that inner part. So this one, the width, I may make it to be a little bit 150, and then this inner one will be having before and also after. So after and before, so we're also going to copy the same stuff here. I'm just going to copy that and I'll paste it there. That's it. So what I'll just need to change this is that negative to positive a little bit. Check that whether it's working up. Wow, my stuff is not applying. I think there's some error somewhere, but we're going to cross check that. And if you shake a little bit, this is what we have. So come back here, we have bulb, class bulb, we have shadow. So let me move, that's what I have also the side. So I have shadow, which is this. That's it. So bulb, so we're applying that to this. So we have this, that. So come back in here up on my program. That's it. So come and give the width, which is that. Now to my stuff, I'll still carry my pixels, apply to it here. Now I know at the moment you're not seeing an impact, but very soon you're going to be getting something glowing like this. Now to do that, I'm just going to still move around my program. Remember, one thing that I happen to use here in common, I have this animate. So animation on my Z element for shadow is -1. We check on this position, shadow relative. We take this first back to relative and I see relative. Wow, nothing yet taking place. We take back again. We have that. So we have this part of the program that check that very fast. Check that. So we have this Z element -1. We have that property taken over. So we have that. Just try to go to at keyframe, at keyframes. How we have animate for us at keyframe, animate for us. So just pick that very fast. Remember this is what we had. Just cross check. I'm trying to finalize my mistake. Just try to add some this thing also after here. So if you check, I did some little bit changing. This is what you happen to take. This what you're taking, what you've been coding. This is it. The content of this, I've said you'll reach here up to here, count 5, then just going to repeat the other one once more, one time. So this one, this is negative, this is positive for our this, and then this one for it to be blue into a little bit, so that when I refresh this we should get something like that. But now we are not seeing the inner one. So the inner one, to get that, we shall come back in here and then we just talk to the inner one. So this one is moving to that, and then this one, the one for this, I'm just going to copy that very fast. I paste it here, but now we are talking to only that element. So we to talk to that only element, I'll need to give it also like that, so that when try to cross check a little bit, we should be having it blowing to that part of the element. So that one's going to be blowing to the part of the element. Now the one for on side here, I think there's some mistake somewhere. Try to cross check that. My mistake should be somewhere here. So I have this div class. So I don't have this, no problem. Whether I have it, still fine. So this bulb, things what I also have here. Oh, here I have ball. Sorry for that mistake, sorry for that. I think that's why I was getting errors. Bulb, So that now great. So that now is great. So if you shake now, I believe we should find something blowing inside. The reason why this is blown like this is because we happen to make that, first of all, the inner one to be also having one known as border radius, the 50%, and also even the bulb itself outside on the frame to be from the rectangle which it has been at first to what known as border radius of kind of a sphere, to generate something like this. Now we have something that we are left to go with, which is one step. I'm sorry the video is taking long. Now I hope you have understood maybe. So the first thing you have to do is to get the keyframes, and then I've like said to you, we have something in common. You have animate, and we also have animate both in our bulb and in the shadow. So we want them to animate on the same direction, on the same way. So if you want that in the same way, we are going to just set here the position on which they're going to be animating for us. So like I've said, to animate that, we are going to just come in here. Would like when it is at 0%, let it animate for us by the background position to remain that. And how about if it is now at around maybe you can say 45%, around 45%. Let's animate for us by the background positioning to approximately 300. So if you shake right now, what we should be getting at the moment should be, wow, shake that little bit. It's not yet animating because not yet up to 100. So if you come back in here, I'm just going to take this to 40%. When the background when the stuff is at around 0 again, 100%, let it go back to 0. So let it be going to maximum to that, again come back to this frame to 0. So if you shake that, happen to save that and try to refresh, we should be getting the animation. We just try to cross check on my error a little bit, check for errors a little bit. Oh, I think I've seen this. When we're at 0%, let animate by that, and when it's at this percentage, let animate that. Now that should be now in position to frame for us what we need. Now that things to be kinda great. Now if you shake a little bit here, you can give this 0, but 0 always 0%, 0 remains as 0. So you can either give the percentage or you tend to ignore that. So if you still remove that, we should be getting the same stuff. So I think you can see I don't know how you can frame it as lunar eclipse, I don't know, or you can call it the disco light. So that's how you can simply make up a disco light in CSS. Now this stuff, you can use it anywhere within your program. You can use it anywhere how you want to use it. It is upon you. Now once more before I finalize, we happen to come up here, we happen to create a class that, then talk of the div class this, the class that and that, the shadow and the bulb. So here may be your element, you can have anything within this party of this element here. The shadow, I happen to call the shadow to be having the position relative, the margin that, the width that, and the height that. Then the background approximate to 5 to 6 to 5, something like that. Then we look at the position for this bulb of ours, which is inside this shadow. We would like the position to be absolute. Remember, this is relative, this let be absolute. You get. Then the height of it is 150. Then talk of margin 150. Height is 150, margin 150, and width 200. Then talk of the margin again, straight margin. Now I happen to apply margin here and margin here for some reason. If you try to move that margin off, Ctrl Z, wow, if I try to move this margin off, my element was not in the center. I hope you guys remember that, whereby our element is going to be somewhere around here down. If you shake that, somewhere around there. Now it not look kind of nice, so that's why I happen to come in and I pop up with my margin there to try to bring this element a little bit kind of in the middle, if that's how you want it to be. Now friends, if this video happened to help you, please make sure you subscribe to my channel for more upcoming videos which will be still on animation for this week. So guys, thanks for watching. Love you all. Thank you.